The information wars are raging, and real, reliable information is getting lost in a blizzard of BS. BS that's designed to deceive you. And most of the misinformation is not coming from Russian trolls, meddlers, or other foreign governments. Yeah, that's a problem, but most of this stuff is coming from right in our own backyards. In America, it is fellow Americans peddling smears and racism. In China, it's the Chinese government spewing propaganda. And in India, well, here's a quote from Facebook's former security chief saying, in India, the disinformation is being driven by India's political parties. Disinformation knows no political party. There are liberals, there are Democrats getting away with all sorts of smears as well. None of this is journalism. These memes, these smears, this crap has no relationship to journalism. These smears, these lies, this misinformation that comes, supported by television hosts, radio hosts. There's no bigger story in the country right now. There's so much of it, and there's so much volume of it, and it's so one-sided and so misleading that eventually, yes, it hurts public understanding. It's not that every individual video is false. It's that eventually it hurts people's understanding. And companies like Facebook and Twitter don't have a solution to that, right, Renee? There's no easy solution for that.
No, there is no easy solution for it.
It's about human psychology, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's propaganda. So it's computational propaganda. There is nothing that is illegal about propaganda. Most of it is, there's some grain of truth in there. That's why it's so convincing. That's why it's so resonant. And so the problem becomes the platforms don't want to be in a position of moderating around truth. And so they're left with this weird challenge of, how can they moderate? And so some of that is to look at how the information is spreading. Does it look like it's spreading authentically, or does it look like there are bot farms that are in there amplifying content and pushing things, getting the algorithms to get it into people's feeds? There's no easy answer for a lot of this stuff, and that's because it's not going to come down under the terms of service that the platforms have, because it's a political point of view.
Robby Soave is an associate editor at Reason Magazine. How powerful do you think these provocateurs are or are not? Let's be real about it.
So I would sound a more cautionary note than some of these comments. I mean, there have been studies, for instance, that actually very little fake news is being seen or shared on places like Facebook and Twitter. I think the Twitter study was that like 80% of fake news was being seen by just 1% of Twitter users and being shared by just 0.1%.
How much of that fake news is Donald Trump's Twitter account, though? Because that's being reshared quite consistently. President Trump uses information warfare against perceived enemies here at home. And the issue is that all of these memes, all of these tweets are being weaponized. They will be weaponized by Russian trolls because they sow divisions, and they're going to be weaponized by Trump surrogates to try to spread information about who, to your point.
This is a new way of delivering information to people, social media, broadly speaking.
We're all still learning how to interact in this world.
We're learning, and I don't think we should just panic across the board about it, because new is always different and scary. But there are traditional media outlets serving up what some people would call fake information or misleading information too. So is this so different? Is this changing votes or warping the country? And so it's bad and poisonous to tweet mean things at people. But I don't know that this is responsible for Trump being our president.
I think it's sending us more into our own corners, right? And so as a result, the left's information pool and the right's information pool are becoming so separate from each other. And that feels like it has long-term consequences for democracy.
Your point about not all memes are bad is that the ones that go viral, unfortunately, are the ones that are really emotionally resonant, that drive a lot of engagement. And so you have a situation where the most sensationalist content is what's privileged.
This information war rages online every day. What advice do you share with folks who just want to know what is actually real and what is true? What is the media literacy lesson?
I think it's difficult these days to know what is real and what is true.